El Salvador's Congress has approved group trials for the tens of thousands of people arrested during President Nayib Bukele's crackdown on criminal gangs, which has given the country one of the world's highest incarceration rates. Yesterday's legislation will allow prosecutors to simultaneously try hundreds of people alleged to be part of the same criminal group or from the same area of the Central American country. This new rule is an effort to expedite tens of thousands of cases for those detained under the country's crackdown on street gangs. The legislation has also increased prison time for those found to be gang leaders from 45 years to 60 years. The recent measures, described as being temporary, was approved by the Legislative Assembly with 67 votes out of 84. The changes to the country's criminal code are just the latest in President Nayib Bukele's war on the Barrio 18 and Mara Salvatrucha or MS-13 gangs, which began last year when the leader declared a state of emergency in response to a wave of violence. His government has suspended constitutional rights and has detained over 71,000 people accused of being in gangs, or 1% of the entire country's population. They have been jammed into prisons, fueling waves of accusations of human rights violations. According to the measure passed yesterday, members belonging to the same terrorist structure or illicit group and who have been captured while the emergency regime is in effect may be tried in a single criminal process. The government has also used similar strategies in other parts of the crackdown earlier, rounding up large groups of people, often based on how they looked and where they lived. It also carried out mass arraignments at which judges faced anywhere from 50 to 500 detainees at once, often not considering documents and other evidences that speak to the character of those facing charges. The new trial rules, which were proposed weeks before, were pushed through by the Bukele supporting majority in Congress, while a smaller set of opposition politicians voted against the change. In place since March 2022, El Salvador's state of emergency has led to around 72,000 arrests and prompted warnings by humanitarian groups and the United Nations that President Nayib Bukele's war on gang violence may be leading to human rights abuses. To house the tens of thousands of people arrested, Bukele in February unveiled what he called the largest prison in the Americas, intended to hold 40,000 suspected gang members. Despite the criticisms over possible arbitrary detentions in the Central American nation, Bukele's war has broad public support in the country.